Good morning, traders. Welcome to Framework Fortune, and welcome back, Framework Fortune community. As you can see, I have 5 shares of old INDO left. That swing from yesterday, I got in. Where did I get in at? Oh yeah, I got in way down here at the bottom at 7 yesterday, as it held up this trend line, as I was talking about in the update video last night. And because of the way it closed all the way at 775, so I held it overnight. And this thing just went ballistic. So off of, what I had 30 shares, I accidentally bought 5 here, which it's when I was trying to sell this morning. But I only had 30 to begin with, I believe. Yeah, 2010, or did I have 40? Looks like I had 40. Oh, yeah. I did have 40 and I locked out part of it, just 5 shares right before market, after hours closed. So I was at 35, and then I did all this locking out up here in pre-market. And I was holding 10 shares and it had this dip. So I just got out of 5 of it just in case it didn't hold, but it is holding up right now. Let's get rid of some of these lines. But guys, we've been watching INDO for 2 weeks. Almost everybody in the chat yesterday made a profit off of it. I think it was yesterday. It was either yesterday or the day before yesterday. Yeah, the day before yesterday. So, this thing's continuing to run. This is not a magical play that came out of nowhere or anything. We've been on this. And if these runners are going to run, why not let them run? So, doing pretty decent here, up that $209. Now, of course, the SPY just ate it, which was another thing I was warning about in that video last night, that we're probably going to gap down this morning. We did gap down, as you can see on the daily chart. I'm going to get rid of this short-term downtrend. And let's get rid of that one too. We don't need that one. But we gapped down overnight. And I was watching this last night as I was messing around with my futures account. And I saw all this happening and I was like, good God, in the morning it's going to be ugly. So far we've had a rebound, it looks like, on the SPY, if you want to even call it that. But, we're below that 420 now. Probably 420 is going to act as resistance as well now. If it does, we're going to continue to drop. Of course, I guess the whole Russia thing is going on. So that's not helping things. But anyway, let's get into here and see what else is going on today. Oh, I did also pick up those 2 shares of OSTK. Still holding them because it was only 2 shares. But what I was looking at on Overstock was it's got room up to the 200-day moving average on the daily. That's $70. So on this 2 shares at 45, if it runs $70, that's $25 a share. I can make it easy $50 if it can run. Now it's a good sign that it's gotten back above this uptrend, but at the moment still kind of making a little bit of a congestion area and maybe possibly forming this downtrend. But if you didn't catch that video, Overstock is also a crypto play. It's a blockchain play. They have their own digital securities platform. Not cryptocurrencies, although it's very similar. They're blockchain-based securities. So basically like stocks, just not the original, kind of the normal way we think of stocks. They're just more of a digital asset, like a token or a coin or an NFT or something. Which stocks are, digital now, but the way they're doing it makes it less Well, it's a private market. First thing, it's not a public market like the stock market. What's up, Austin? That's what I'm looking for now. Some plays. I mean, INDO still could be a play just because it's had to sell off today. I mean, it just doubled in price from yesterday. So let's see, what was that? I was in at 772, sold most of it at 14ish and 13ish. Yeah, so almost doubled my investment on that trade. Like I said, I'm still holding 5 shares of it. Uptrend is way down here, so you do gotta be cognizant of that. I would think that $10, even if this does continue to sell off, I would think $10 will hold up as some type of support, and also the trend line's right near there. So is it a play right at this second? No, but this is still one to continue to watch because this thing has been giving opportunities all week. I mean, this is the only trade I've made money off this week. As far as trading stocks, what was that, made 100 something on Monday or Tuesday or something, and now another 200 on top of that. So this stock's pulled me about $300 this week. This is one stock. That's what we like to see, little cash cows that keep uptrending. But yeah, let me check out some other plays, see what's going on today besides what we're already looking at. VTNR, that thing just went all to hell. Get into a 15-minute. There we go. Yeah, we'll just take that. That's not a 15-minute. There we go. Yeah, I'm going to take that off the watch list. They had a little pop yesterday, but not doing too much. Virgin Galactic having another pop up again, but still looking like it's downtrending. And DraftKings doesn't look good anymore. INDO starting to crack a little bit. And again, OSTK, Overstock, could still be a play. SKYH possibly could still be a play. Look at this triangle on the daily chart. We're getting a nice triangle here. Holding, trying to stay above that IPO open price at 1050. Above it right now. So once it can confirm that, the only thing I don't like is this red indecision doji right here. And this candle falling below it. If we can see a candle or something pop back above it, and see Sky get back over 1125, could be a possible play. Yeah, ENSV, this does have an uptrend, but pretty cheap play. Running right into that 200-day. Yeah, nothing there on HUSA. Let's see. Mid floats, IMMP. This one exploded. Nice rip off of that trend line. We'll put IMP on watch. Tellurian. Interesting. Does this have news? No. $3 stock. This is not going to run that much, even if it does run. The high is 576. So, like, this little 25-cent movement, nothing there. Virgin Galactic, we already have on watch. AMC. AMC is almost... I could easily still keep selling off. It's just still in this channel, having a little bounce. We'll put it on watch as it did move $3 this morning, so maybe there's a couple of dollars we might be able to find out of that. Let's check the high floats. We got Palantir up a little bit. AMD again up a little bit. Gold, of course, gold stocks and military stocks should be on. Well, let me rephrase that. Gold, silver, oil, military stocks, all four right now should be on watch. And Tesla getting a little pop up there. You know, so far I'm not seeing any military stocks popping up. Let's see, what is this? PANW. That's Palo Alto. Just looking to see if any of these are military stocks. Life Sciences entered into agreement. They also had their earnings, but it's already gapped up, you know, $10, so it's pretty high up there. Yeah, I ain't seeing much else going on. I'm gonna put LNTH on watch, but I don't really like it. Let's see, where's INDO at? Yeah, INDO. INDO may be alright. What the hell did you put in there? One Life with a bunch of different messages. And then retracted them all. I just don't know if I want to continue to hold those 5 shares with a downtrend right now. I need to see some type of reversal. See, OSTK hitting right around 48.75. So it may not break out today. It may have to slowly climb all day today. Let's see, how's the SPY looking? The SPY going to keep its rebound? And no, that doesn't look too good. And until the SPY breaks over 422, the tops of these 2 wicks here, we can see it easily continue to sell off. This could just be a little buy in volume. Let's look at the market watch. Oh, look at there. Surprise, surprise. While the market's crashing, Microsoft, Google, Amazon, all of these plays here, Microsoft, Tesla, are green still. Government funds have all of those in them. So people in the government's investments accounts are doing fine right now, even though the market's crashing. Now, it looks like OSTK might want to try to go. If it breaks this downtrend here and we get a break of 50, you know, that's all I'm waiting on. If it keeps messing around up here at the 50 area, it is a very low supply, low float stock, 43 million in shares, and this is a big company. What are you doing, One Life? Why are you writing messages and retracting them? You're junking up the chat with that nonsense. I'm gonna, like, what are you doing? Come on, man. I know you're still. You don't know what's happening? It keeps saying your message. It's saying that your. Look, I'll show you. It's showing that your messages are getting retracted. My internet's good, Lori. We should be all good. We shouldn't have any problems. Yeah, look at that. Your messages keep popping up, and before I can read them, they get retracted. Which, if they're getting retracted, means that you pulled them back. So I don't know. Yeah, it's not anything on my side, or it would. See, you're not reported or anything. There's no reason why it should be doing that from my side. It's not doing it to anybody but you. Weird. Let me look in the Discord real quick and see what it's showing in there from the chat stream. Interesting. For some reason, this YouTube stream is not streaming to the Discord. I don't know, bro. I don't know. I'm looking. I'm trying to figure it out, but I'm not seeing anything in the Discord. This whole chat should be going into the Discord, but I don't know, One Life. I don't know what's going on with that, man. I'm gonna give you the moderator tool back. Try to type now. See if that does anything. Yeah, Russian. That's what I was thinking, Orlando. I was gonna say the same thing with Russian hackers. It's our worst nightmare right now. It's worse is Russian hackers. Because everybody, I don't know why people think this is going to be some type of ground war like World War II or anything. This is going to be a cyber war if it is a war. Oops. I just clicked on there. Hey, INDO getting a little bounce. Virgin Galactic looks the same as yesterday. Like it had this peak, but then looks like it's going to sell off probably. I don't think that's going to be a play. This IMMP, probably not, because it's running into that 50-day. So I'm going to go ahead and take it off. Well, I'll leave it on because it's uptrending, but I don't think it's going to break that 50-day. This thing's barely doing anything. AMC just hanging around there. Yeah, there's not a lot. There's not a lot. Now that the SPY has cracked 420, people are wanting to see confirmation that the SPY is going to drop. Investors are. So, Fredo, all you got to do to join the Discord, we have it set up like this to keep all the spam and stuff out of it. But just go to frameworkfortune.com, sign up for free with your email. Takes just a couple of seconds, and then click on the Discord tab, and you can get access to the Discord. I'll put this link in the chat for you. But we don't want a bunch of hackers and spammers coming in all the time, so that's why we're doing it this way. But you can see we have people already in the Discord. Donnell's online right now, and in the chat somewhere. But yeah, that's all you gotta do to get the access to it. Takes a couple of seconds. And also too, if you haven't actually looked around the Framework Fortune website, we have most of the streams, most of the social media up here. There's some more that needs to be added. And then we also have this nice free little toolbox. In this toolbox, you can access without having to sign up. This is just free resources like our scanners, H&H Traders, new scanners he put up. These are the ones that I'm running on the side right here, the low float, mid float, high float. So, there's a lot of different little resources, and we're constantly adding, to it. And we got little layman's terms, definitions that we'll be adding to as well. Something happened there. I need to fix that. Then most of the lessons that are on YouTube are in here. And we do have some exclusive content, some stuff we post that's extra and whatnot here and there. But anyway, it's all free too. Yeah, so. No need to worry about getting hit with any subscriptions or anything like that. There's none of that. It's all free. Yes, that is true. One life. So you were having a problem too, Lauren. So you're having issues. I gave I gave one light. Well, he logged in, and I gave him the wrench back to see if that helped fix his thing. It seems to be fixed now. He's not losing a bunch of messages. I don't know. Things are, that's the thing with us going to this war. Well, I don't know if we're going to go anywhere, but the whole war thing, we're probably going to see energy being pulled from residential, so to help with cybersecurity, and that means our electric bills will probably go up on top of all the inflation and everything else. This is the collapse. Like I've been saying, it's going to happen slowly. You're going to see the economy just fall apart. Society, the fabric of our U.S. society's already been ripped apart. We're coming down. No longer will we be the top country in the world. The rate we're going. And I've seen some people talking about it, saying, we've got all this military that we've spent on all these tanks and jets and, naval ships and all of that. And I'm like, well, we're 30 trillion in debt with high inflation and oil just hit $100 a barrel. How are we going to put gas in any of those things? we can't afford to fuel our military, our giant, huge military. We overspent. It's like you go out and spend every dollar in your pocket on a brand new Lamborghini, and then you don't have any gas money, so it's just sitting in your driveway. It's useless. And that's basically what is happening. I mean, we just left a whole bunch of military equipment over in Afghanistan like it was like it was some old bag of McDonald's left in the car. So, and I was a little overwhelmed yesterday with everything going on, and at the same time, I was a little bit. I was pretty. I'm still not sure, really. War normally is a good thing for the stock market and the economy. However, war at the point we're at now, any type of war is not going to be good for the economy. Especially when all they got to do is just hack, Chase Bank or one of these banks that people hack all the time, and the whole financial system will come crashing down. We ain't gonna be using none of that stuff. We ain't be fighting no war with no tanks or planes or anything. I may get ready to lock out this last little 5 if it doesn't hold up. Wait a minute. What is going on now? Oh, here we go. Um, yeah, I mean, Austin, you're not off basis on your Baba play. I'm not laughing at you at all for your play. Because if America and Russia's going at it, China's just going to keep manufacturing things and keep building their economy up, back up from whatever. And yeah, it could be a very good. Exactly. Yeah, it could be a very good play. Um, I'm relaxed, man. I'm relaxed on life. The government is not going to do what they want to do. They're going to do what they can do, which is nothing. You got to have money to make money. You got to have money to do anything. We don't have money. The U.S. is broke. We're in terrible debt. We can't even, eh, like, we can't even pay the interest. This is the stuff I've been talking about for 2 years, the economic problems. The damage has been done now at this point. I'm not worried about Russia coming and invading the US. They ain't gonna do that. Russia's not stupid. Russia will sit over there and stay where they're always at, and no one's ever beat Russia in Russia. So why would they leave Russia? Ukraine is just right outside. Ukraine was a part of Russia. That's why Putin wants it back. But I'm not concerned about the war. My concerns is this is another straw on top of the camel's back of the economy. I mean, you can look at the SPY, argue against the chart all you want to, but I'm just telling you. MRO. Let's pull that up. Oh yeah, marathon oil. It had that pullback. That's why I got out of it. But yeah, it could be a play. Let's pull up Trading View real quick. Let's see what's going on around the world here on the indexes and futures. Let's see what's getting affected real bad. We know the Dow Jones and the SPY. That's the Dow Jones. There's not even an area of support here where it's trying to hold up. So that's gonna probably, yeah. I mean, I highly doubt we're gonna rebound anywhere in this area. Maybe for a couple of days or something, then we'll dump off again. Oh, but let's see. Oh, gold. Look at that. Gold almost got to $2,000. Surprise, surprise. Silver breaking back over 25. Surprise, surprise. U.S. oil hit $100 a barrel. Actually, got over 100 to 101. Surprise, surprise. Inflation does the thing. It does one and only thing. Decreases the purchasing power of fiat currency, the US dollar. So when you decrease the purchasing power, and all these are measured in the US dollar, it's going to cost more US dollars for something valuable like oil or silver, gold, rice, beans, all of that. Now the cryptos did take a hit last night too. Ethereum got all the way down to 25, actually 2,300, but it looked like a little bit of a panic sell off. I don't know. I'm expecting the crypto market to hang where it's at and not drop much more. But let's see if I drop trend line. That may be, there we go. That's a little bit more accurate. But if for some reason they can't hold the areas they're at right now, cryptos are going to go even lower too. No, I didn't say we would get invaded at all. I said we wouldn't get invaded. Russia's not going to come over here. This is not going to be an invasion. This is not going to be anything like that. It'd be, if and this is the reason why I say if, I think this is my true opinion. I think this war is manufactured because the Federal Reserve cannot control inflation. The debt's too far gone. All of that. Also, real estate market had a nice drop too. So expect a lot more price dips in housing. But I think this is manufactured. I think this is going to be a manufactured Cold War. Yes, there is actual stuff happening in Ukraine with Russia, but is it really any of our business? I don't know how people feel about that, but me, I don't think we should be sticking our our nose in other people's business, especially when we can't handle our own business. We got half the country fighting with each other right now over a bunch of dumb shit and can't even somehow, I don't know. Like I said, war usually is good for economic growth, but I don't think it's going to be this time. And like I said, I think it's just because, and here's why I think this. Because the mainstream media, they're the ones yelling and screaming at the top of their lungs the same way they did about COVID. Go get your 58th booster shot right up in your testicle so that way the damn virus won't give you a cough. And I'm not downplaying COVID, but what I'm saying is the mainstream media is nonsense. They're at it again. They're going to exaggerate this as much as possible. Why would they want to do that? Because the economy is imploding in on itself. They don't want everybody else to see the economy imploding in. They can hide it. If everybody's worried about Russia and Ukraine, then they're not going to be even thinking about the economy, inflation, and all that. Most Americans don't even know what inflation is at this point. Let's just be honest. So it's very easy to pull the wool over the rest of everybody's eyes. I think this, like I said, I think this is manufactured. It's just more nonsense. Just more nonsense to hide the fact that our government and Federal Reserve has screwed us over as American people. Because now, if we go to war, they can blame all the debt on the war. That'll be the same. That'll be exactly what they're doing. The economy collapsed because we went to war with Russia. It'll give them another excuse to take all of the heat off of the politicians and off of the Federal Reserve. This is Russia's fault. The whole time they've been saying this is COVID's fault. This is the pandemic. This COVID shut down the economy. It just strode right into the White House and just pressed a button. Just crazy, insane shit. It doesn't make any sense. So, that's just my thoughts on it for now. And history shows we've already had one fake war with Russia. It was a Cold War. That's what we're basically in, is a Cold War. What do you mean the website I sent is fake? Yeah, or I'm sure, Lauren, that they're deploying all kinds of troops and doing all that. I mean, I'm not saying that there's nothing going on in Ukraine and that we're getting lied to. I've seen the world news. I've seen some of Ukraine's news headlines and stuff, and I've seen some of Russia's headlines and stuff. I'm not saying this is a thing that is just being made up. This is real. What's going on? The manufactured part is how everything is going, how it is being viewed, how it is being used as an excuse for multiple things already, how it is, covering up the fact that they have screwed the pooch on the economy. Just like COVID was real. It was a real virus. It killed, a good bit of people. A lot of people got sick, but the mainstream media was acting like it was the end of the world. Now they're doing the same thing with Russia. That's all I'm saying. Like I'm not conspiracy theorizing that this is all some fake pictures that they made up or whatever. I think Putin wants Ukraine back. Putin's always wanted Ukraine back. Let him have it. Like, it's not our business. It was their land in the first place. And Ukraine wanted to break away. They tried to break away. It's not working or whatever. It is working, whatever the case may be. I don't know. I don't care. It's not, whether like it just it's just going to be used for gain, political gain. That's all it's going to be used for. No, no. There's no way. There's no way the stock market is going to recover to all time highs at this point. Not anytime soon. I mean, this is the Dow Jones. Look. Let me pull back on the monthly chart. So this is the monthly chart. This is why I keep showing everybody. This is why I've been bearish on the stock market. I've been saying the same stuff for 2 years now. Look at the fucking chart. The Dow Jones has been going straight up since 1984. What happened in 1980s? Around that area, 1978. The US dollar was taken off of the gold standard. So as soon as the US dollar became truly fiat currency, the Dow Jones exploded. That's because it was getting nothing but purely inflated money. We're way up here at the top. This was our little channel that we needed to hold in if we were going to continue to move up. We've got all of this room back down to at least here, 2,800. We've got room after that down to the trend line. We've got room all the way down after that to the 200-day. And if this thing keeps dumping, we've got room all the way down to 14,000 and then even all the way down to 11,000, before this thing even gets back to some sort of correction. We've not had a correction really besides the 2008 crash, which, remember, if you were alive during the 2008 crash and you remember how it affected people, this was the 2008 crash right here. Okay? We are way, way up here. The crash that we've already went through so far, this little pullback, it looks like a little pullback, is almost the same size as the housing market crash. But we've got way lot more room to come down than we did back here. So as bad as this was in 2008, this is going to make 2008 look like nothing. It's going to be a while before the stock market recovers. This nonsense has been decades in the making. Decades. decades of terrible money policies from the government, terrible monetary policies from the Federal Reserve, terrible handling of money from the American people. Since the invention of credit cards and the technology boom, American people have become extremely uneducated on the financial systems, and they just want to see that credit card swipe and have all their nice things. So there is a lot of reasons why we are coming down now. It's not because of Russia. This was in the making. Like I said, this has been in the making. It's not because of COVID. We already had that little pullback. This is the epitome of all this nonsense for the last 50 years, 40 years. Finally culminating, coming to an end point. Because the Federal Reserve cannot do what they have done all through this time to keep the markets up. The Federal Reserve, in fact, made it illegal for themselves to even hold stocks. Gives them a great excuse to be out of the stock market at the very fucking top. They timed that pretty damn well, if you ask me. So, I mean, I could be wrong, but, and I wish I was wrong. I wish I was wrong. I don't want it to be the way it is. I don't want to be right about all this. I really don't. But, it is what it is. Exactly, Orlando. You want to be making money in both ways. I don't think the Fed. No, unless I'm mistaken, I think the Fed's only made it illegal for themselves to hold stocks. Congress, the U.S. government, and the Federal Reserve are two different entities. The Federal Reserve is a private entity. The government is a public entity. They're not connected. They're not supposed to be. They're not even supposed to talk about none of the financial things or anything. But that shit got thrown out the window a long time ago. But unless I misread something, the government people can still hold stocks. I mean, there's no way the Federal Reserve can't tell the government that they can't hold stocks. That's the government makes the rules. The Federal Reserve just controls the money supply. So, if I'm wrong about that, y'all correct me. But I'm pretty sure it's just the Federal Reserve employees who cannot hold assets anymore. They've been trying to put the worms back in the can. The worms ain't going in the can. That's the problem. That's what I'm saying. The worms are out of the can. You know, as soon as we hit 7.5% inflation, 40-year high inflation, that's the worms. The inflation is the worms. The inflation is the biggest problem we have right now. Like, this war with Russia is not our biggest problem. Inflation is our biggest problem. We go into hyperinflation, we're all screwed. You know, there's not going to be a currency. The world reserve currency is the U.S. dollar. If it goes to zero, all those countries we owe debt to, we default, so they don't get none of their money back. I mean, it's going to ripple through the whole entire world. This is not anything little. And no, Orlando, I'm not saying that we're going to drop to 14,000 on the Dow Jones. I'm saying it is a possibility. You guys know I don't say one way or another, but for the most part, see, what's the SPY doing right now? Yeah, see, the SPY is getting held up right there. That's what I figured. Couldn't even break back above 420. Got stopped at 419.49. So getting that rejection, we're probably going to see the sell-off continue here. IMPP back down. INDO trying to hold this support, but I'm just going to take this last 5. I'm not liking the way things are looking. Just in general. I'm gonna keep my OSTK for now. I may even add to it. Just looking around, see if there's anything going on while we're talking, cause yeah, AMC started going sideways. Yeah, I'm not touching anything until we see some type of, yeah, there's nothing on that scanner either. NDO seems to be the top gainer today at 55%, and it's selling off. So yeah, Virgin Galactic starting to pull back. Looks like everything's starting to pull back. Well, anyway, you cannot. Let me ask you this one, Life. How can the government stop from defaulting? What can they do at this point to pay back 30 trillion in debt to the rest of the world at this point we're at right now? We're not, right at this moment, we're not even paying the interest payments. There's interest on that debt. We're not even paying the interest payments. So if you can tell me how we're going to make back $30 trillion, we're going to cut all the government spending that's unnecessary, like putting rats on treadmills or finding out if owls are sexually attracted to certain music. Like, there's a bunch of dumb government studies that our tax dollars get wasted on. Just dumb stuff. Raise taxes? So they're going to raise taxes right now with high inflation. How's that going to bring it? How's that going to help? If you raise taxes right now with high inflation, nobody in the middle class or lower class will be able to afford anything. Your main consumer base, our whole economy, which is a consumer-based economy, a service-based economy, we don't have that much manufacturing. That's why we owe all the debt in the first place. We're a consumer and service-based economy. It depends. Our economy runs on, the American people buying products from the rest of the world. We're out of money to buy. Our debts are up. We owe the rest of the world. How is the government not going to default? What can they possibly do to not default? Yeah, raise taxes, raise interest rates. That's not my stance. Look what you're saying. Look what you're saying right now, One Life. You're the one saying this. The government will not default because they will raise taxes and less spending, and they're going to raise interest rates too. Yeah, it would create a world collapse. No shit. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I've been talking about. That is what I've been saying all of this time. This has not been good. This is why I've been positioned for it. This is why I hold mainly silver and gold. Not a big deal. But, but leave the economics to me, man. Because if you think that raising taxes and raising interest rates right now is not a big deal, then you have no understanding of any economics whatsoever. Not even Keynesian economics, which is full of shit. Even a Keynesian economist would be like, "What? what you mean this ain't a big deal?" It doesn't matter what the world wants. That's the problem. That's the biggest problem with human beings. Give me, I like that you said that. We're going to go on a rant. Give me just a few minutes. I'm going to come back. We're going to go on a rant and I'm going to tell you exactly what the problem is. What you just said is the exact problem. I'll be right back. Okay. So before I start this rant, there's a couple of things I want to preface with. Number one, we're going to get philosophical. And what that means, I just made it up. We're going to get philosophical and logical at the same time. And also by the end of this, you're going to feel this logical. So we're going to get philosophical, all right? Now, the next thing I want to preface, what all I'm about to say is a unwinnable argument, okay? You can argue this point, this rant I'm going to go on. But by arguing this point, you are only going to feed into the point. So the best thing to do, just sit back, just listen, okay? This is going to be probably the deepest I'll ever go. And this is going to be, some of you may think I'm crazy after this, but just listen and hear me out, okay? Like I said, if you argue this, it's only going to add to the point, and you'll see why before I start. And the reason why I wanted to preface all this and stuff, because I don't want to go into a big debate about it because it's pointless. Again, a debate would only fuel this point. Now, let's get started. What One Life said, nobody in the world wants that. It doesn't matter what people in the world want. People want what they can't have. That's a natural part of being a human. You want what you can't have, right? No matter how much money you make right now, whether you're Orlando or Sicilian, you're young, you're 19 or 20, you want something. Why do you want it? Because you can't have it yet. You know, you haven't reached a level yet of financial stability to get whatever it is you're seeking. Same thing with us middle-aged guys. One Life, Daniel B., David Davis, me. We want what we can't have, you know, or we want what we don't have. Now, we can take that out of the stock market completely and apply that on every level of human beings, right? People just want what they don't have. It's natural. When we were cavemen, what did we want? We wanted food. Why? Because we didn't have food. We need food to survive. So we had to go out and get it. No matter what it is, if we want it because we don't have it, right? The world, however, does not care about that. Doesn't care about our wants. You know, the world is not going to start raining hamburgers and hot dogs like Cloudy of a Chance with Meatballs to everybody in the world because people are hungry. It doesn't work that way, right? Now, what I'm getting into is the laws of human nature, or not just human nature, but laws of nature that I talk about all the time. And the issue that I see with humans in general throughout history, through all of my research, there's one trend that always comes back around, and that's part of the cycle research. If you research cycles, there's one trend that always comes back around. And I think this is the reason why we are in the cycle that we have been in. And that's the empire cycle of cycles rising and falling. It's not because of capitalism. It's not because of communism or socialism or any of these political systems. It's not because of government regulations or currency manipulation. Those are all effects. Those are effects of a cause. The cause behind all those effects are humans thinking that they can change the laws of nature. That is one of our biggest flaws and why the cycles continue. Because if the cycles continue because we're continually trying to get out of the cycles, we're trying to break out of that, but our action continues to cause the cycle to go around, well, the only way to break the cycle is inaction. Right? The only way to stop going in a circle is to stop going. So human beings throughout history have not figured that out. We continue to stay in the circle, fighting with each other over the most tiniest little things like skin color, like race. That is like skin color is a tiny, tiny, tiny little difference between human beings. It's on a DNA level, just like a couple of chromosomes or a couple of sequences that are different. Like if you hate somebody because of their color of the skin, you literally hate them for one of the smallest possible reasons to hate somebody for. But the point to that is, we're that shallow, we're that ignorant. We've been that ignorant. We're still that ignorant to this day. I mean, we have people out there who you can make all the words you want up for genders, but it still doesn't change what you got between your legs, right? The whole animal kingdom is that way. Every single animal, except for a small few percent, has a male and a female. So that's another example of where humans think they can just do and create and make things ignoring the laws of nature. And this ignorance is what has kept us in this circle. The ignorance that we believe that we can change the earth. The earth is not ours to change, right? We don't own the earth. The earth is a planet. There's plenty of planets. There's plenty of planets out there. We can go to another planet now. It is not our planet. We share this planet with the tiniest microscopic beings to the giantest whales in the ocean. But every corner in history, we think we know better. We think we know better than nature. And that ignorance right there, that blind pride, is the reason why we are in the situation we are in. Human beings coming into power, maybe with the best intentions, but remember, intentions is perception. What's good to someone else can be bad to someone else. If a diabetic eats a piece of candy, that's terrible. If a kid eats a piece of candy, they love it. Good and bad, good and evil, all of that is perspective. Even people who have the best intentions, they think they are doing what is right for the rest of the world, the people in power, are still going to be wrong. Because in their best intentions, their own ego and pride is telling them, you are special. You are better than everybody else in the world because you know how you can fix this. So go tell everybody your great opinion on how you can fix the world and get everybody to listen. You are an egomaniac. Every human is an egomaniac. It is part of nature. It's part of survival of the fittest. We are egomaniacs on purpose. We have to be to survive. There's nothing wrong with being selfish. Survival is selfishness. We, throughout the American history, have put all of these negative connotations around survival and selfishness. Well, it's real easy to do when you are the number one country in the world and you're pissing in clean water while the rest of the world is drinking garbage water for 60 years.
You're pissing in clean water right now, and there's people across the world who have no water to drink. And people will get on their cell phones, you see it every day, and put out their opinion of how we should fix the water problems while on their new iPhone sipping a Starbucks latte made from clean water. From clean water. There are people in the world right now who wish they could have water. Nonetheless, a Starbucks coffee. But yet, here we are in this position, top country, top empire for 100 years, 200 years running, 300 years, whatever, who cares, doesn't matter, it's all the same. And we are tearing each other apart because of pride and ego. We're tearing each other apart. This whole Democrat, left, black, white, all this nonsense. Democrats and Republicans is a made-up thing. That does not exist in nature. You go out in the woods and you're the only person in the woods, and you're like, let's go Brandon, or you're like, screw the orange man. The squirrel in the fucking woods is not gonna go, oh yeah, let's go Brandon. Yee! Like the animals don't care. All these things in our brain that we put so much meaning behind are meaningless. And we put that meaning out of pure pride and ego and ignorance. And I'm not even religious, but you can go back and read the Bible and see these same stories over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. You can go through your history books and see the same stories over and over and over again. You can name any single story, and that is going to be the key boiled down basis of it. Humans are our own worst enemies. Climate change is not our enemy. The shortage of supplies and stuff is not our enemy. COVID was not our enemy. We were our own enemies. We were forcing each other to wear masks, forcing each other to get vaccines, chastising people when they didn't, chastising people if they are vaccinated. We are the ones who did all this. The government shut down the economy. That was a lockdown. The virus did not come in. All of this stuff is human action. And that's what I'm saying. The only way to get out of the cycle is to stop with action. So, because no matter the actions we take, it's irrelevant. We're this tiny in the whole universe, yet we think we control the whole entire universe. And that's my rant. I'm a hermaphrodite. But yeah, just, there's something it's hard to come to that realization as a human in the first place. Like it's such a negative view, but it's irrelevant whether it's a negative or positive view, because again, perspective. Is it a negative view to you guys, or is it a positive view to me, or is it the view doesn't matter whether it's negative or positive. It just is what it is. You want smoked peyote at an Indian reservation? But you just, think about this. This is something I was thinking about the other day. You're sitting on your computer screen, or sitting at your computer, you're looking into your computer screen. What are you looking at? And I don't mean what exactly are you looking at? Are you looking at porn, or are you trading stocks, whatever? That's not what I'm talking about. What are you looking at when you're looking at this screen? Whether it, like I said, doesn't matter what you're looking at. if I put this screen in the woods, it's not going to show me anything. As a matter of fact, the world is going to go on. Money supply, money circulation, all of that is going to go on regardless whether or not you have that screen in front of your face. All that screen is just a little window for you to see into the whole world. Right? It's not anything special. Without the computer screen, the world still goes on without you. You know, same thing with me. And if these screens didn't exist, or if I didn't have these computers or this YouTube channel, the world's not going to stop because of that. The world continues to go on. You know, these screens we are observing. We're observing what is going on in the rest of the world. When we're trading, we're observing what the rest of the traders around the world are doing. It's a tool for observation. That's it. You know, there's ways to make money and stuff off of the internet and all that, but all I'm talking about is these screens that we're looking in. You know, we're just looking in to the world, and the internet has also made it to where you cannot see the world clearly. You're looking through it, this window, through your own biases and whatever else of the glasses that the world has put on your face. That is your perspective, right? So I don't know. I don't, it's such a negative thing, but it is the basis that I have come up with for the troubleshooting, because we've tried everything. We've tried everything over and over again. The only thing we have not tried as human beings is to not try. That's the only thing we haven't tried, is not trying. So, you know, could that break the cycles? Could that change the whole world, make it a utopia? No. There'll never be a utopia until human beings are beyond the pettiness of ego and ignorance and all of that, the laws of nature of survival and fitness. Until we're beyond that, we're always going to be subject to our imperfections and flaws. And when you have billions of people in the world, those imperfections and flaws are magnified. So the cycle continues, sadly, because it doesn't look like we're going to not try anytime soon. We're just going to continue to try to, you know, whatever humans call this, whatever we do. I sound like an alien sometimes when I say this stuff, but whatever humans call it. But yeah, I mean, it just is what it is. The world is the world doesn't care about what we want. It doesn't care. So, you know, we don't want war with Russia. Is that going to stop? You know, we didn't want a virus, a pandemic, and all of that. Didn't matter what we wanted. So the moment that we get out of these unicorn and rainbow filled human perspectives, maybe the faster we can change the world. And I am up right now on OSTK, popping up to that $50 while I was ranting. Didn't even realize it was popping. But nice $5 move there. Break out of this triangle of consolidation. So we'll see. Like I was saying, I thought this could break 50 today, so we'll see. Yeah, we were right there at it. I should have a commune. No, I don't want a commune. I don't, I do all this to help people, not because I want people to follow me. I don't want people to follow what I do. I've said that many times. I don't want people taking the trades that I take because I'm taking them. I want people to be their own people. I want people to be their own traders. That's why I'm so proud of the traders like Orlando and Sicilian, those young guys being able to realize that young that they can be their own traders. They don't need to follow Ross Cameron strictly trading. They don't need to do all of that. They can become their own traders. But no, I don't want that. I don't want to be a leader of human beings because the responsibility of being a leader over other human beings is not a responsibility that another human being should have in the first place, is how I look at it. Like, there's plenty of laws and everything else, and laws still get broken. But that's why I want to. My goal is building this community. Because here's what I believe. That original rant is my, pretty much, like I said, philosophical. But what I truly believe is, while we can't be perfect, there cannot be a perfect society, we could at least be free. Truly free. Not stuck to the bounds of all the stuff that we make up and add to the world. We could be truly free. We have a shot with blockchain technology, and this is the first time I'm going to speak live on my actual opinion on cryptos. Most of the time when I'm talking about cryptos or I'm debating and arguing people about cryptos, I don't ever even state my actual opinion. It's usually just questions. But here's my actual opinion on cryptos and blockchain and what I actually think. Now, while I'm a strong advocate for decentralization and what blockchain and cryptos can do for decentralization, at the same time, if we do not adopt decentralization and take the power of the money out of all these big institutions and these government powers, if we don't take it out of these people's hands who are in control right now, then they are going to control us forever. And they can do that through their own blockchain digital cryptocurrencies. That's what scares me, and that's why I push so much for decentralized projects like Cosmos Atom and these other cryptocurrencies. Bitcoin, well, I don't want to say Bitcoin because we don't know the creator, but like Cosmos Atom, Ethereum, governments can't do anything about those. They're going to exist regardless. But the government can, in any government, China's already done it, can create a blockchain coin. So, blockchain, while having the ability to change the entire world for the better, in the wrong hands, just like anything else, could be used to our detriment. So that is how I feel about it. I feel like we're in a race for true free market and freedom, as free as you can be, as far as there not being any major one group of people in power, because blockchain allows for everything. Decentralized blockchain allows for everything to be fair and all of that. But if you know, if these central banks come out with these Fed coins and what else, and they start forcing it on people, and people are like, oh yeah, this is easy, we're just going to adopt this instead of going and getting into Ethereum or Atom or any of that. You know, ease of use, the government's going to make it easy, and they're going to shove it right in everybody's face. And my biggest fear is that everybody's going to accept it because they've heard about cryptocurrencies, and they're going to accept centralization to the highest form we've ever seen instead of going for decentralization. And unfortunately, I don't think there's enough of us out here with enough reach, and unless Joe Rogan turns into a crypto advocate, I don't think there's enough of us to educate enough people fast enough about blockchain and it being the possible key to freedom, or being the key to the cage, the final gate, the final lock on the gate. So there it is. All the dumb stuff, like, is blockchains compared to tulips? No. But is there a possibility it could get used against us? Of course. It's happened. It's another one of those things that's happened plenty of times in history. I mean, just recent example, the pandemic was used against us. You know, shut down your businesses, take your kids out of school. Like, think about how many kids lost out on education, while not the greatest education, but they're deprived of education as it is. And I don't know, there's just, at this point, I would truly be shocked to see everything turn around and go back to normal, as people want to say. And that's just the sad reality, I believe. But it is what it is. Yeah, I don't think, I know blockchain's not going anywhere. Blockchain is definitely going to, that's where everything's going. I mean, if you've done any research on blockchain technology, you know that's where everything's going. Like, it's just obvious. It's just a better technology than what we have now to keep up with data. So, you know, blockchain's going to stay around, but what I'm saying is, whether we have the true decentralization or we have another manufactured world that we live in due to blockchain, I'm saying both opportunity, or I don't say opportunities, but both of those possibilities are possibilities. And like I said, the other one, unless more people wisen up, and because, like, right now we have tons of people who are buying the media BS that cryptos are scams and all of that stuff. Like, I saw an article. This article made me want to it made me want to take my car, light it on fire. It's an electric car, so it's not going to explode in a big ball of gasoline flames. But I could ride around for a while with that car on fire, shooting ice cream cone rockets out of it at other cars on the road. Come on, somebody had to get that reference. Somebody get that reference. Please get that reference. It's a good reference. It's a gamer reference. Well, everything's always oversaturated, really, you know. The stock market's oversaturated. But, you know, that's why you don't just buy any stock. Same thing with cryptos. You don't go buy any crypto. You don't just go buy a crypto to buy a crypto. You got to do the technical analysis and do the research on it, just like you do a stock. It's none of this stuff is different. It's all chartable. If it can be charted, it can be analyzed the same exact way. Thank you, Mike B. Knew somebody was going to get that reference. Awesome. Thank you. Great job. Yeah, but that's true. That's true on anything in life. Everybody's trying to make a quick buck no matter what it is. I mean, the whole reason you day trade is to make a quick buck on the stock market. So that's not really an argument for not getting in cryptos. I mean, are you not going to get in the stock market? You're not going to take a trade because, I mean, that's the whole reason we take the trades we do is because of retail traders who don't know how to trade trying to make a quick buck. Everybody's trying to make a quick buck in everything. That's just normal. That's nothing. It's not an argument against crypto. Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, right now, let's see, has anything else moved since we've been talking besides OSTK trying to test 50? Now look at that. See the SPY building a lower low. And we're going to keep selling off today, probably. Let's look at the news real quick. Let's see. So, Russian military attempting to take over a Ukrainian air base 15 miles away from Kiev. President Biden to give remarks on Russia invasion at 12:30. This is going to be my impression. Russia, Putin, come on, man. Just Putin, man. Russian and Trump. Russian, 1960, old corn pop. I had to take corn pop down. I'll take Russia down too. Come on, man. There's my impression of what you guys are gonna see when he goes to give his remarks. That's pretty much the whole thing right there. There you go. Oh, that's so stupid. All right. Anyway, you guys have had me having so much fun the last 2 days. I'm glad we are having fun again in these live streams. Because, hey, even though the world burns down around us, that's all right. Because no matter what, no matter how dark things get, I guarantee, I 100% guarantee, no matter how dark it gets, there is always something to laugh at. And I'm going to leave you guys with that today. Appreciate everybody joining me. You know, the rant that I went on, If you disagree, you disagree. I understand totally. It's definitely a glass half empty way to look at things. But unfortunately, reality doesn't really care. So we have to do and deal with how things come at us as they come. We'll be back a little bit later on the Framework Fortune Crypto channel for some Gods Unchained live gameplay. And if you haven't yet, go check out the website frameworkfortune.com. You can sign up for free. There's no paywalls, no monthly subscriptions, none of that nonsense. And you can find the Discord and come talk to us after the live streams in the Discord channel. Guys, have a great rest of your day. Stay safe out there. And even though the world is turning upside down right now, always remember you could be way worse off. You could be an 80-year-old senile man who craps himself every time he sneezes, and at the same time be in charge of the entire world. Or at least go into war with Russia. So remember, you could always be in a worse position. Anyway, till next time, guys, stay safe out there.